muralist. And so a lot of people have seen that one. It is a lioness. And then behind her you see the silhouette of a woman who actually is me. And he's the one who recommended.
Question for both of you guys as well. So you have collaborated on murals, but you also have did murals separate, correct?
Right.
Now, can you give the audience some of the locations of the different murals that you've done, and then after that, we would like to hear from you, sir.
All right. Yeah.
So I've done some indoor murals. So I mentioned the one on 54th and Capitol, and right on I think 53rd, there's that school. And right now it's slipping my mind, but it's the elementary school on 53rd and Capitol. So I did a mural right in that area. I did several murals in the next door building.
Next Door Foundation.
Next door foundation. Yes.
The Next Door Foundation.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And that's what you're saying on 52nd and Capitol.
And that one was like on 54th and Capitol. But as far as outdoor murals, there was where we were supposed to collaborate on a mural for Beer Line Trail. Then he was busy doing another mural, so then he put me as the lead artist. So I end up being the lead artist working with students on a mural on. So that would be like 2nd and Abert.
Okay. Now is that the south side?
No. So it would be north side.
No.
Okay. So like a block.
From Capitol.
South of Capitol.
Yeah. So that mural helped me where some people had seen that mural and then took an interest in me.
Okay.
There was the Women of the Year, when they had the march, Women's March, and was that about 2017 or so?
Okay.
So I did a mural in Bayview. So there was 5 female muralists, and so a lot of people have seen that one. It is a lioness, and then behind her you see the silhouette of a woman who actually is me, and he's the one who recommended I put myself in it.
Yeah.
But I did it in a way that it wasn't so
I said
stood
put
out.
yourself, because you're a symbol. You're a woman. You're an artist.
Yeah, exactly.
You're an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
You're a leader.
Yeah. You got to represent yourself.
Right. And the good thing
look
about
good.
that is that even when the way I painted myself, there are some men who've said that was themselves, like they saw themselves in that.
Wow.
So I do like that. Like I like to paint things where it means different things to different people.
Right.
Let's see, Pulaski High School, that was a mural that I finished last year. I was very proud of that mural. It's 88 feet wide, 7.5 feet tall, and I worked with the students after school during COVID.
Okay.
So that was interesting because so many things had happened during that time, and we had to wear masks the whole time, and that was great because that school, they speak over 27 languages.
Really?
In Milwaukee, right? So that's a surprise, and I was able to be in a class with students from all over the world.
Okay.
So that was a great experience for me. Was there any other one that you think I should that I?
Yeah.
Oh, well, there's one that's going to be going up next week. So this particular mural is done on panels, and my husband, he's the one who put the mural up.
Okay.
And there's a mural that we worked on last year, and it's going up. So it's going to go up on June 9th and 10th on the Clinton Rose building.
Wow.
That was where the first one that I worked on too was Clinton Rose. And then the Beer Line Trail was on my own. I'm sorry, I got that mixed up. So yeah, Clinton Rose is one where I was the lead artist where he was supposed to work on it. And then I went and applied for Beer Line Trail. So that wasn't with him, the Beer Line Trail.
Okay.
Yeah.
Greenwood Park Gallery and Framing open for all of your art needs. Located at 4233 West Fond du Lac Avenue, open Mondays through Fridays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Now featuring African American and contemporary artwork for local, national, and international artists. Your local shop for masks and statuettes, mud cloths, royal cloths, and salt lamps. Call 414-444-5166 or follow their Facebook. Greenwood Park Gallery and Framing, 4233 West Fond du Lac Avenue.
I just want to elaborate on her murals. Usually artists are more, they don't blow their horn because we were trained, not to brag about yourself.
Be modest.
The Bible says
right?
not to think too much of yourself. So for that reason, that's why we have managers.
Yeah.
Or agents, that represent you. But
Okay.
her mural on the next to our foundation on Capitol indoor murals, some of them are really, the indoor murals are just as impactful as the outdoor ones, but you have to go inside, so it's a limited audience. But there are, was that the one sponsored by the Milwaukee Brewers?
Mm-hmm, the Brewers'
the
wives.
women? The Brewers' wives sponsored it. So usually we have a mural, especially outdoors. Somebody has to sponsor it because there's costs involved.
Yes.
You have paint, you have equipment like maybe lifts, and you have, you have to figure out how to do things. So you have somebody has to pay for it. Usually could be the city itself. Like I've done murals in different cities, but hers, the women, the brewers' wives sponsored it. You go in there, you see a whole, like you think you're right in the stadium of the Brewers. You see the whole crowd, people's faces, individuals. It's amazing.
Right.
Just the details she puts into it.
Now, what do you like better, outside or inside murals?
I like both because
But if you had to, you would say outdoor. See, she was doing residential murals. I said, you got to do murals like me. You got to do it out in the public. Because when you have it outside, you have your galleries right here.
Right.
People get amazed and they'll stop. People take pictures, you don't even know it. And it also represents the city like this.
Right.
People, sports people from the past.
The Bucks
This mural here on Valide and 28th, I always told her, deserves to be down in the Deirdre district. That's where it needs to be done. So she can rework it. So this is her work. Somebody comes up with the concept idea, and they get to sponsor it's their mural, so they can get all the people to help.
Right.
So sometimes we have children painting on it. We'll get a grant from the Wisconsin Arts Board. Used to sponsor grants throughout the state for artists to go inside schools, and they'll see what kind of minority population. So to give those the grants to them. There's a process. And it's also, that's where the money used to come from, the National Endowment of the Arts.
Okay.
Nationally, go to the states. And if you look at the ranking, New York gets a lot of money. Wisconsin we're like 48 of the 48 states. Minnesota gets a good chunk.
Okay.
Because they're into the arts.
Now you mentioned about going into the schools and involving the kids. So it's just not, something that you like to do and you're good at, but you're involving kids.
Right.
So to explain that a little bit, how that process goes and the impact that you guys are making on the kids in the community.
I had a school where they wanted every student to paint on it.
Okay.
So, and even when they were absent, they made it where when they came back, they made sure that they were all painting a mural. So that particular one, it was a mascot of a wolf. And I designed the mural so that I created all these different shapes that made up the wolf. So the design itself is, I don't even know what you would call that kind of design, but it's really cool to see because it's all these pieces of colors that make up this full image. And within each piece, it's blended and they're like odd organic type shapes. So I had the students come in and I gave them individual shapes to paint. Some were better than others, and and so some would paint more than others, and yeah.
Now, you guys mentioned about panels earlier.
Yeah,
So when you
I
doing,
just want to say something
go
about
ahead,
schools.
Go ahead.
School systems are different, but no matter if they're from Burlington or with Milwaukee or Kenosha, Racine, I've been doing it for years. School systems usually have the teachers are usually white female. Then later on, there was not a lot of diversity.
Right.
Then they have more male teachers. So now working in the arts, we can bring people of different shades besides the light shade, darker shades, black and brown, as role models. And so the little kids, usually there's in a minority in the classroom, but they'll see somebody like them. They need somebody to look up to besides the sports figures.
Right.
Because everybody's not going to be a basketball player, even though they think they are.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's
that's where we come in. So we appreciate the Wisconsin Arts Board. Things go slow, but they slowly move better, but they could go faster.
Right.
And if you wait too long, your kids will be graduated and they'll miss out.
Right.
So that's the school system.
And that's so impactful to kids. You go in these systems.
Yeah, because you hear a lot of these kids say, I'm going to be an artist when I grow up.
Yes.
And now they know they could be.
Right.
Before, when she was growing up, she was doing murals before she was 13 or 12. They were little kids doing it. They would go out and help me and get the paints and learn they learned it because from little up. And I used to tell her when she was a teenager, you and Marisa and Rozalia and Rosana, you guys should all band together and be like in California. They have female Latin artists that are all women that do murals as a team.
Yeah.
They don't do that here in Milwaukee. Now they're starting to, but way back then they could have had a jump on it. Mm-hmm. So that's what artists do. We come up with ideas and we can help, and we try to include everyone.
Creative.
So when we do schools, we'll work with from elementary to college, high school. We go to different colleges throughout the state, and we work with people that are 90 years old, like in nursing homes to help. We work with people that are working Goodwill. So we get around, we work in mental health in Brown County. Mm-hmm. So we get around, and that's people in Milwaukee don't know that, but we're like a traveling band of artists.
Yeah. And what's so great is family. The Artist Connection podcast was generated from many conversations with local artists around the lack of opportunity to showcase their talent. Here at Greenwood Park Gallery and Framing, we recognize our local talent and strive to connect artists with the community. Please enjoy this opportunity to hear from local artists and learn more about what inspires their work.
Greenwood Park Gallery and Framing specializes in custom framing, printing on canvas, and selling contemporary and African American art, all housed in our 3,000 square foot art gallery. We are centrally located in Milwaukee at 4233 West Fond du Lac Avenue. We recognize local artists and strive to connect local talent with the community. We're asking for your support. Contact us to find out how you can help sponsor the work we're doing to highlight local artists in our community.